I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Hello and welcome to the Cronkite File. I'm Austen Bundy alongside my colleague Alyssa Klink. Friday morning, Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States, as you just saw, as a meager crowd of approximately 250,000 people watched. While the celebrations commenced, several hundred protesters took to the streets of Washington, D.C. and New York City in opposition to Trump's inauguration. Several streets were blocked off, windows shattered, and even a limo was set on fire. Police report that 217 people were arrested in D.C. alone Friday at the protests. Despite the negative response to his first day in office, Trump wasted no time in signing several executive orders. His first act as president was signing a waiver that would allow retired General James Mattis to serve as Secretary of Defense. Mattis was confirmed by the Senate as such only a few hours later, along with Trump's pick for Homeland Security Director John Kelly. But the newsmaker of the weekend was Trump's signing of an executive order freezing regulations and paving the path for Congress to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. According to the White House, the order, quote, mandates agencies can only act to the maximum extent permitted by the law, end quote. That extent is still yet to be seen or defined by the new administration. Alyssa?
Thanks, Austen. Only one day after President Donald J. Trump was sworn in, millions of women marched the streets of major United States cities to promote women's rights and equality, as well as issues on abortion, immigration rights, and the protection of the environment. Feminist icon Gloria Steinem said, "Sometimes we must put our bodies where our beliefs are. Pressing send is not enough." At least 470,000 women and men participated in Washington, D.C. alone, tripling the number of people who attended the inauguration the day before. President Trump falsely claimed that 1.5 million people attended his inauguration and accused the media of de-emphasizing the size of the crowd. That's all in politics this week. Now let's go to Emily Taylor with entertainment news.
Thanks, Alyssa. Within the crowds of hundreds of thousands who partook in the Women's March throughout the nation this past Saturday were a number of A-list celebrities. If you look close enough, you would have spotted Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Pink, Amy Schumer, and a range of others. Many dropped their status of fame to stand beside those supporting the cause of equality for all. The mission statement of the Women's March organization is, "We stand together recognizing that our vibrant and diverse communities are the strength of our country." This day and the message conveyed especially hit home for former Ugly Betty star America Ferrera, a daughter of Honduran immigrants. At her side throughout the march were past co-stars Ana Ortiz and Mark Indelicato. She stopped to speak to the DC crowd and share her thoughts regarding our nation under new President Donald J. Trump. Ferrera stated, "We march today for our families and our neighbors, for our future, for the causes that we claim and the causes that claim us." Though this day was one of many protests, it also proved to be a celebration of unity and strength for women across the country. That is what has been going on in entertainment. Now let's hear back from Lauren Bukoskey with sports news.
Thank you, Emily. It is official. The Falcons will appear in the 51st Super Bowl in Houston against the Patriots. The Falcons have high expectations going into the Super Bowl as it is only their second time playing the title game. They beat the Packers this weekend in the conference championship 44-21. The Falcons are currently in the league's highest scoring offense as they held a big lead against the Packers at halftime, 24-0. Although Julio Jones has suffered a toe injury, he still showed off his impressive skills. He said, quote, "I do not practice that much throughout the week, but I came out and gave it all I had." Jones will need to keep that same mindset as he prepares to face off against the Patriots, who beat the Steelers 36-17. Personally, I was surprised the Steelers were so behind during the entire game. Tom Brady, as usual, did not disappoint. He completed 32 of 42 for 384 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Patriots are no doubt hungry for their 5th Super Bowl title, but we will have to wait until February 5th to see the Falcons and Patriots battle it out. That's all in sports. Let's go to Madeline Holler with national news. Madeline?
Thank you, Lauren. At least 19 people have died over the weekend due to tornadoes across the South, according to an article published by ABC News. Southern areas include Mississippi to the Florida Panhandle and parts of Alabama and Georgia. President Trump expressed his concerns to those in Georgia affected by the violent storms to the press via the White House. Trump concluded that tornadoes were vicious and powerful and strong, and stated that individuals in the South suffered as a result of them. He then added, "So we'll be helping the state of Georgia." At least 15 people are deceased and 24 were injured in Georgia from tornadoes early Sunday morning. In Mississippi, 4 tornado-related deaths transpired, and at least 23 other people in the state of Georgia were also injured as a result of the tornado outbreak across the South. Now let's head to Sammee Lomibao and Jennifer Alvarez at the desk for more.
Thanks, Madeline. I'm Sammee Lomibao.
And I'm Jennifer Alvarez. Here are today's stories.
The rain is finally starting to taper off today after Southern California was pounded with a series of intense storms that caused nearly 4 inches of rain in Los Angeles, freeway flooding, and mudslides on Sunday. Flash flood warnings caused multiple areas of Southern California to close roads due to hazardous conditions, including fallen trees. After years of drought, the National Weather Service may be classifying this series of storms to be the strongest in at least 7 years. Rescuers deployed multiple rafts across the state in order to help those caught in the floods caused by record-breaking rainfall. As for the San Francisco Bay Area, high surf warnings were issued today for waves up to 19 feet tall among the coast after 34-foot swells were recorded in Monterey Bay on Saturday. Drivers are urged to be careful in this hazardous weather until the storm calms down.
In local news, an ASU professor recognized for his kind efforts and awarded a Martin Luther King Jr. Diversity Award by the city of Tempe. Dr. Neil Lester, the founding director of the Project Humanities Initiative, was acknowledged for his program, which trains the student community to be kind, compassionate, and forgiving. According to 12 News, Lester stated that it was, quote, quite an honor to be part of an event dedicated to someone who was so committed to equity and equality, and not just in terms of race, but in terms of all communities of difference. The city of Tempe holds the Diversity Awards breakfast annually to commemorate Dr. King and those who proudly uphold his legacy. Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Good night and good news.